What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the BookMine Academy. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can view a book's entire historical selling data. There's some really cool features that you can use on the Keepa graph to kind of zoom in and out and look around over the past few years or just really the entire history of that book. So really excited to show you this because I think it's something that's super simple, but that's an extreme value add. So Victor, what's going on, man?
What's up, Joji? Yeah, actually, I'm really excited to dig into this. I think looking at the overall history book, kind of zooming in and zooming out, it's great for the community. And so, yeah, it's a great video, great value add.
Okay, so let's go and look at BookMine. Do it. All right, so we're over here on BookMine, of course. This is where we're going to see a little bit of a snapshot of the Keepa graphs of various books. And kind of what we want to do is just pick any one of these books and just kind of look at its historical data. So I can go and click the Keepa link here.
Before you click on that, it's good to reference that is actually a snapshot of 6 months.
Right.
Each time we're looking at all this data, right now it's all a 6-month snapshot.
Right. Yeah, that's actually really important to know. Now, you could change what you want the snapshot to look like when you actually open the book on Keepa directly. Now, right now, as of today, you're only going to be able to look at 6 months on BookMine, but you can change your default view when you look at this book over here on Keepa. And the way that you would do that, and so I guess what I'm referencing is when I open this up on Keepa, I'm actually at a 1-year viewpoint, but you could technically default it to a month or 3 months or even all. But Victor, what's something that you like? What's the time range that you default to?
My default is a year. I'm looking at a year because I want to see patterns. And so a year allows me to see any type of pattern this book may have.
Yeah, I would agree. I think a year is also very beneficial. You already have the 6-month snapshot again here. So looking at a little bit more data, I think it's going to be helpful. So the way that you would get that, it's actually not the default. I think the default is actually 3 months. So what you're going to do is come over here to the top right under your profile, click on the setting buttons, and then you're going to come over here to a website called, click that. And then you're going to see under chart appearance, or for the range, we're going to go ahead and click year. So I'm pretty sure it's defaulted to 3 months, but you're going to go and click year if you want to follow what Victor and I do. And then now every time you load that new Keepa graph, you're going to be ready to go. So let's go and do that again. Click on the Keepa link. The point of this video here, Victor, is to try to zoom in and out to see more historical selling data, to look at specific periods of time. So can you just kind of briefly explain, like, how would we look at like August and September specifically? Because there's not really a filter to say, look at August, September. How would we like zoom in on that data?
Yeah, so the data we really want to look at for this particular book is when there's tons of selling data, right? Lots of selling spikes here. So I really want to zoom into August and September. So basically all I have to do is hold my left mouse button and kind of just scroll over it, like hover over it, just like that, just like what Joji's doing right there. And by doing that, then now you have zoomed into those 2 specific months.
Yep, absolutely. So all you really got to do is you just got to left click with your mouse, drag, and let go. That's it. So if you want to practice, just left click, drag, let go. And you can do that for as short of a period or as long of a period you want. Like technically I could do the whole year if I wanted like this, which probably wouldn't be much of a value add. But if I really want to know, Victor, what happened on this day, I could go, whoop, and now I'm looking at May 1st. I can even go further than that. I can just keep zooming in if I wanted to.
Yeah, like the 2 minutes to see what
I get. Let's see, how far can we go? We can only go to, so I mean, pretty close, right? To the minute or something.
Yeah.
Pretty insane to think that you can go look at what this book's use price was literally on the minute of any specific day in the past. Like I could go to 4,191 days and I can go, what was the use price on January 7th of 2016? I could just go, okay, that's 2016. That's January 7th. Boom. The use price was 133.44 and then it dropped down to 111.49. Is that pretty crazy? That's like insane.
That is really crazy. I think it's also good to point out, Joji, how'd you get back to your overall 4,000 days? Because we zoomed in really quickly, but then it seemed like just with the flash of click, it looked like you just kind of zoomed back out.
So yeah, that's a great question. So essentially, you guys remember, if you want to zoom in, left click, drag, let go. Then all you got to do, super magic, just double left click, boom. You're back to whatever your view was. So I was viewing at 4,000 days. Now I'm back to 4,000. If I was at a year and I had zoomed in, and I double left click, now boom, back to a year. Pretty powerful, right?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So again, this is something that's super simple, but it makes a big difference because you might want to know, hey, what was this book selling for during this specific period of time? And if you can zoom in, you can say, okay, well, it looks like these sales rank drops. Okay, that looks like that was at 48. Looks like that was at 46. It's just the easier way, right, Victor, for us to kind of zoom in and see what's going on. Now, this book is, pretty easy one to see. It has some textbook seasonality in it, but, I think if we open any one of these other books, we can maybe glean a little bit more information or different information from it. So, let's say you're looking at this book, Victor, right? Yeah.
Right.
Is there something specifically that you would be zooming in here? Or, I mean, do you always need to be zooming in?
On a book like this, so it's kind of like the sales have happened throughout the year, so not necessarily
Right.
you need to zoom in at any point. It's more of a when did the sales actually happen, where the use price meets this the sales rank drop.
Right.
And that's what I'm really wanting to zoom into. If I need to zoom in at all for this book.
Yeah. A lot of times you can just use your cursor, go hover left to right, and you can kind of see when the sales rank drops would happen. And you can just obviously use your logic like, oh, hey, there's a bunch of sales rank drops here. Was it likely at the lower price here, at the higher price? Probably it's going to be at this lower price. Victor and I know that oftentimes there's a little bit of a lag, right, with where Keepa records data from Amazon. So, Victor, I would guess that those sales rank drops probably happened at this price, just logically thinking. There's really no exact way to know, but going back to kind of what I would be zooming in, like I think these drops in use price are really interesting, Victor. Like you can see how the price of this book dropped from 41 down to 15 cents, and there's like an immediate sales rank drop. So what do you think happened right when that price dropped?
I mean, immediately within probably a few minutes, somebody came in and bought that book.
Yeah.
So I bought the book.
Deal.
Yeah. The sales rank dropped, and then the price went back up.
Yep, absolutely. So maybe we can look at one more to see if there's, okay, let's look at this one because there's kind of a lot of variation in price. Is this something that you would need to use that feature to zoom in and out of? Or what would you, I mean, I don't know, would you be trying to zoom in and out here?
So what I do, like step by step, right, is I look at the year and then entices me. Then I want to go and see if there's anything else I should look at a year, like past that year. So that's when I zoom out and look at the whole entire market for that book. And so by clicking on the all 2,800 days, that, I'm able to see what the used offer count has been, if it's higher or lower than it's ever been, stuff like that. So I'm always doing that at least one time for each book I'm about to buy.
Right. Something, yeah, that's great. Something that I also like to do is I always like to kind of zoom in when the prices are higher to see if maybe any of those sales rank drops were at a higher price. So for example, price looks like it got pretty high up here and there does appear to be a few sales rank drops. So for me, I'd zoom in and say, okay, here's a sales rank drop, but realize that happened at $3.80. So it's like, okay, that's probably a $3 sell. Looks like this one dropped at 29 and this one was also at 25. So looks like we didn't actually sell at that $80 mark. But for me, I like zooming in like that. So we hope this video was helpful to you. Just, again, zooming in, left click, drag, and let go. You want to then kind of just rebound back to what you're looking at, just double left click. It's really that simple. And I think it's, again, something that's super simple, but makes a huge difference in my opinion. So Victor, anything else you want to conclude before we head off?
I think that was a great video.
Sounds good. Well, we'll see you guys in the next BookMine Academy video. Peace.